Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the AfterShock Epicenter live stream. I'm your host and the communication specialist here at AfterShock Comics, RuthAnn Thompson. So we have a very fun show for you today where we're going to be talking about all the new comic book titles coming out for this coming Wednesday on June 15th. We have a number one, a number two, a number three, and then a trade paperback. So running the full gambit. Hello, Edward Huey on Facebook. Good to see you. We always have so many people that watching this that have such great names. Excellent names, sir. All right, let's jump right into it, shall we? So when you head to your local comic book shop tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, make sure to start off with a Calculated Man number one. So this comes from Paul Tobin, who we cannot get enough of. We worked with him with Bunny Mask, obviously the first and second volume, My Date with Monsters, and now this. And we have the artist Alberto Albuquerque to tell this very intense, surprising, action-packed story of a master of math on a mission, say that 3 times fast, to eliminate a crime empire for good. So not only is this very exciting because it's a brand new title, but we've got a lot of people buzzing about this because it's already been sold to Hulu as a TV series. So very excited about that. And on top of that, the excitement keeps growing because we have the showrunner of the TV series is none other than AfterShock's alumni, Peter Calloway. So we worked with him on several titles as well as The Last Space Race and Shadow Doctor. So we could not be more excited to have him as the showrunner for this gritty, darkly humorous story of a master math unleashed on a mission. So this comes with colors from Mark Elgert and letters by Taylor Esposito. And the cover is going to have an incentive cover by Andrea Muti. So make sure you check in with your local comic book shop tomorrow, see if they got any of the Andrea Muti incentive covers as well. Yes, for Space, I agree. So much good Paul Tobin. I cannot get enough of him, and I'm so excited to have more stuff from him. And hello, Nathan Duncan. It's finally a Calculated Man. Yes. So this is all based around Jack Beans, who's a variable math genius, used to run the numbers for the Pinafore crime family until one day he ran them a little too well and concluded that the only way out of this life was either in a casket or witness protection. So he turned everything to state's evidence and ran. But now the Pinafores are out to end their favorite accountant. Little do they know that Jack's skills with math and his perfect memory have made him a better killer than they could have ever realized. So what follows is a journey of murder, mayhem, and mathematics. I'm very excited for this title. Can't wait for you guys to read it. And we will obviously talk about it on next week's reviews and spoil everything for those who reach it. Good day, Michael Lightel. Good to see you, sir. One of our awesome ambassadors out there. Next up for our titles for this coming New Comic Book Day tomorrow for Wednesday, June 15th is Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside, issue 2. So speaking of Paul Tobin, this is the writer and co-creator with artist Andrea Muti, which I cannot get enough of this title. And The Hollow is back in his never-failing hunt to eradicate his victims, not only from their lives, but from existence itself. So one of the most terrifying feelings in the world is not only like losing oneself, but never to be remembered ever again. Hello, Jim Gagne, another one of our ambassadors as well. Leanne Fogel, Suckman, Bunny Mask, yes. Welcome, welcome. So we're very excited to have this title coming out tomorrow. So now The Hollow has set its sights on turning to Bee and Tyler, even as they struggle to decide who they are to each other. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what Bee is, because is she Bunny Mask? I don't know. That's still like a little weird to me. So Bee comes face to face with her greatest inspiration and direct threat, Bunny Mask. So in this issue, we kind of face down the identity situation. So I can't wait for you guys to read this as well. Hello, all. Can't get enough Bunny. Nobody can get enough Bunny. I absolutely agree, Hoarder's Hide. So glad to have you here on the show. So last but not least, for our single issues coming out for tomorrow's New Comic Day on Wednesday, June 15th, we have The Ocean Will Take Us number 3. So this continues this terrifying tale from Rich Dueck and color artist Carlos Oliveras, because the mystery surrounding Almazar Bay deepens as Casey and the gang learn more about the town's history and its connection to Triton Oceanic. Dun, dun, dun. Even the title sounds a little sus. But the deeper they dig, the more dangerous things become. And as they learn just how far the cult will go to keep its secrets. I don't know if all of you have been caught up on Stranger Things, but there was definitely one episode with the Watergate when they had the tendrils coming out that definitely reminded me of this title. So hopefully you guys are following this title and enjoying it as much as I am. I agree, Daniel and Andreas Lopez. It is so good. And Michael Eitel says that Buddy Mask is up there with my love of Beck. So BEK, so good. Absolutely agree. And last but not least, for this coming New Comic Day tomorrow for Wednesday, June 15th is a trade. It is Chicken Devil Volume 1 Under Pressure. Sorry, I really like the title of that volume. This comes from good friend and writer Brian Buccellato and artist Hayden Sherman, and this has been one of our most fun titles and is coming back later on this year. We're very excited about this because Mitchell Moss is just totally a normal guy. He has a family. He has this hot chicken restaurant. Everything seems to be going so well. He's married. He has 2 children, and this Memphis hot chicken restaurant is just. He discovers that unfortunately his business partner, who's also his best friend, is in bed with the mob and owes them $2 million. And of course, hilarity and hijinks ensue. But unfortunately, Mitch is ill-equipped to be a badass to fight against this entire mob. And he's just a guy who makes really good chicken. And can he protect his family from cold-blooded gangsters? He cannot. He fails terribly. But maybe the chicken devil can. So he basically turns into a vigilante who wears the chicken suit from his Memphis hot chicken restaurant that he runs and goes on a rampage. And it is so much fun. And if you've read it, the ending, I cannot wait for this to continue. It's so much fun. Lady Grayson says, I kneel at the altar of Chicken Devil 100%. I agree. It is just too perfect. And Daniel Andreas Lopez says, always made me hungry. Yeah, especially in the first couple of issues where we had the extra content of the actual recipe for hot chicken. I was like, oh, I really, really need that. Oh, and Nathan Duncan, I'm so glad to hear that was your first Aftershock book. That's really exciting. I love that. And guys, speaking of Paul Tobin and A Calculated Man and Peter Calloway, we have another happy hour coming up this Thursday on June 16th. So at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, make sure you pour yourself a drink and join me, because I'll be talking to both Peter Tobin and Peter Calloway about not only A Calculated Man and it going to the Hulu series and how that is working together on that aspect, but also just all about the titles that they've had with us here at Aftershock and their careers and everything. So you guys must join if you got any Buddy Mask questions, Calculated Man questions, My Date with Monsters, Shadow Doctor, Last Space Race, and so much more. And of course, we will have the world famous Aftershock live sale afterwards, where not only we're going to have a awesome variant cover from Mike Ruth of A Calculated Man to sell that is going to be an exclusive for happy hour, but we'll have stuff from Bunny Mash, Shadow Doctor, the list goes on. So again, make sure you put that in your calendar for this Thursday, June 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and I will see you there. It's very exciting. I agree, Lady Grayson, woo! And then Nathan Duncan says, I have the cover art for the happy hour book from Mike. Awesome. That's really cool. And we have some amazing titles on the way. So when you're at your local comic book shop tomorrow, make sure that you add these to your pull list, because we have a new title from Zach Thompson called The Brother of All Men. So it's going to be in shops July 13th, but the order cutoff is this coming June the 20th. So make sure that you reach out. So this comes from writer Zach Thompson, who we've worked with plenty times before with I Breathe the Body, Undone by Blood, many others. And he's going to be joining forces with Ian Marin, Killer Groove, who that was actually one of my first titles working with Aftershock and absolutely loved it. So this is set, this is actually very different for Zach Thompson. This is set in 1928, where veteran of the Great War and part-time private eye, Guy Horn travels to a remote community in Western Canada to retrieve his engaged brother from the clutches of a dangerous cult. As Guy struggles to gain control of his personal demons, he's tantalized by the cause and its charismatic leader, Brother Seven. So this is a tightly plotted horror mystery based on a true story, which is some of my favorite stuff here at Aftershock, wherein writer Zach Thompson joins with Ian for a new miniseries that blends the unexpected twists of a hard-boiled detective noir with the uncanny traditions of folk horror. So again, this this is going to be in shops July 13th, but you can order it and have it on your pull list before June 20th. So make sure you add that, as well as the second issue of Where Starships Go to Die, issue 2, is also going to be in shops July 13th, and a final order cutoff of this coming Monday on June 20th. And for all those that read issue 1 last week, stick around because I'll be spoiling everything. We can talk about it in the reviews at the end of the show. And again, this is all about Point Nemo, the farthest oceanic point on Earth from any landmass, a spacecraft graveyard where rockets and satellites can be safely ditched on the ocean floor. Safely. So this is a near future that's ravaged by climate change, and we follow an African astronaut teams with an Indian shipping magnate to mount a dangerous salvage mission. And for anybody who read issue 1, we know we found something a little unexpected. And this is a very fun sci-fi horror tale that will make you rethink the space race. So issue 2 will be in shops on July 13th. So make sure that you order as soon as possible. And oh, you missed the ratio for this. Dang it. Oh well, hopefully you'll get that. Lady Grayson said, I picked up a copy but haven't read it yet. I'll have to bail on the review. I understand. We'll talk about it next time. Oh, good, Bernie. I'm very glad that you already are looking forward to this one from Zach Thompson and already added it to your pull list. Excellent, excellent. Yes, you do, Edward Huey. You'll just have to wait until you get your copy of Where Starships Go to Die. It's excellent. And speaking of new titles, we just announced a new one today. So we have writer Lee Turner and illustrator Cliff Richards, who we've worked with before with 10 Years of Death, and you might know from Batman Red Hood, The Lost Days, Wonder Woman, and Mission's End. This comes a story of a family secrets, betrayal, and bonds built in blood. Dun, dun, dun. Because we focus on the seemingly perfect life of the Minoru family. It's shattered when patriarch Faust is brutally murdered on a quiet summer night. His wife Kat and 16-year-old daughter Missy are forced to confront a shocking truth about Faust's involvement, not investment, in a secret government program known as the 06 Protocol. Dun, dun, dun. Now, Kat and Missy have to protect each other as they are hunted and haunted by the people and secrets of Faust's double life. So this comes with colors by Matt Herms, letters from Cardinal Ray, covers by Andy Clark, and also Jose Villarrubia, and a first incentive issue cover from Russ Wooten, one of my really good friends. So this is the 06 Protocol will be going into effect in September. So keep your eye out for that. Make sure you follow us on all of the social media so we can talk about that. Oh yes, and it is so good. I saw that Nathan Duncan also replied to Edward Huey on Facebook saying it is Where Starships Go to Die is so good. So speaking of, let's actually talk about those 2 #1 titles that came out last week in reviews. Hello. Okay, we are back for reviews where I'm going to spoil everything of our 2 #1 issues that came out last week, Astronaut Down and Where Starships Go to Die. So if you don't like spoilers, skip away and we'll see you next week, or especially for the happy hour on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So let's jump into Astronaut Down. I would love to hear how you guys felt about this, what you thought, because this is a really fun title from James Patrick, who, you know, we've worked with so many times before between Campisi the Dragon Incident and then Kaiju Score, both Volume 1 and Volume 2. I just find his work fantastic. And also artist Rubine, who we worked with Search for Who. So I knew what the story was going to be about. We basically have Douglas Spitzer, who wants to be an astronaut, but we're not exactly astronauts in this field. It's more of instead of traveling through space, he's going to be traveling through alternate realities, like on this desperate mission to save Earth from this horrific crisis that it's in. But I like the crew, and I loved how James kind of tricked us with some of the because you're not sure how much of reality he's kind of in, because obviously, like, he's putting himself through some pretty terrible stuff. You see, like any time that they go through these different dimensions, it's like tearing them apart. So they definitely have to have like the strongest astronauts possible for this. And did you guys catch the panels that were like kind of mixed in of his wife talking about dinner like throughout? Like that took me kind of a little bit to understand that was going on, and I absolutely adore it. Um, so JD Smith guitar says traveling through alternate reality. So he's logged into Facebook. Wah wah. Yeah, basically, it's very meta, as it were. But I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. I can't wait to see where it goes, and just how sane Douglas is going to be able to stay throughout all this, because as we saw by the last panel, he's not even really connected to what reality he's in at the moment. So it's going to be really fun. Jeff Hayes says, I read the first issue, really intriguing and not at all what I was expecting. Same. I've read all of Kaiju Score, and that's currently available. Recently read Campese and love them both. Absolutely agreed. And Matthew agrees that this was a great read. Me too. I love this very much. Very fun sci-fi twisty tale that I'm very excited to see how it lays out. So make sure that you let your comic book shop know to add number 2 to your list as well. And the other brand new sci-fi series, but now we're going to go into a whole horror aspect, is Where Starships Go to Die. Absolutely agree, Nathan Dungan. It does have a very interstellar feeling as well. Hello, Dubious Gates. Du Bois Gates. Hello. What's good, comic book fam? We are spoiling some of the titles that we read last week. So next up is Where Starships Goes to Die, issue 1. So that came out last week, and this comes from writer Mark Sable, who we've worked with several times before, both with Miskatonic and the Miskatonic One Shock, as well as God Killers. So this is also a very different title for Mark Sable, and artist Alberto Lacati absolutely captures this as well. So as I said, this is going to be FOCing very soon for the second issue. And I absolutely love this horror feel. This gives me so much of The Thing, especially at the end there, because this is all focused on Point Nemo, where there's all these starships over all the years of space travel that have just kind of been left. And now we have a salvage mission to try to like clean it up, see what's going on. And they find this, container that's like a British container that's got the Union Jack flag on it. When they open up, there's this dead dude in it, but as soon as they start like doing the autopsy, it doesn't seem that dead. But whatever it was that like caused this corpse to like come to life seems to have infected one of the other people that is working on this crew, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Not the Union Jack, sorry. Thank you, Jeff Hayes, but you know what I'm talking. And Matthew says, like this one too. I really enjoy this title. I love me some sci-fi horror, very like I said, The Thing, and so many other things that he actually took a lot of. It was the Confederate flag? Really? Thought it was Union Jack. Shows how much I just don't pay attention to the kind of Confederate flag. Oops. And I love Nathan. Nathan is also correcting me, but I am very excited to see where Mark Sable takes this. Working with him on God Killers, he does a brilliant job with horror and terror, but having this on the very sci-fi front that he hasn't done before, I'm already applauding him. I can't wait to see what happens next. And for all those who are going to pick up Calculated Man and Buddy Mask tomorrow, make sure you join us for Thursday in our happy hour. I'll be speaking with Paul Tobin and Peter Calloway about Calculated Man and its new Hulu series, and we'll have the live sale with the Calculated Man variant cover as well. Very excited about that. So I'll see you guys all on Thursday. Make sure you stay safe out there, wash your hands, wear your mask, keep your distance, and only read dangerously. I'll see you Thursday.